Hi everyone, doing another one of these more traditional style vlogs. Um, they're a little easier for me to do while I'm working and am having a tough time to find any time to sit down and record something. So today I've decided to do one of them from my car, um, just so that I could find somewhere to be alone and just sit down and record this. Um, I wanted to talk about anime today. It was a topic that I had a few different ideas for, but I felt like because of how differing everyone's opinion is on anime, I should kind of give my view on the subject first. The way I'm going to go about this, I'm going to say kind of how I got introduced to anime, and then I'll go into how I view like what genres I like and kind of how I see the community in for anime. Uh, so like I grew up watching like Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon and Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, like all those like the children's ones that like a lot of people watched without even knowing that it was any different than any other cartoon. I didn't know it was Japanese made or anything. Looking back now, it's like very obvious, but as a kid, I didn't know any different. And so then I didn't really watch any for a long time, like through high school and whatnot, other than like the odd movie, Studio Ghibli movie or something like Ponyo when it came out, I seen. Um, but otherwise, I didn't really watch any series that were anime until I got to university, and then I got reintroduced to it first by an American series that's just inspired by anime, and that was Ruby. Uh, and watching that, I was reminded of the series Inuyasha, and I was like, oh man, I remember that. I should go back and watch it. So I went, sat down, binged the entire series, and then I went back and watched a few other old ones, like Dragon Ball. I knew I still loved it. Even when I wasn't really watching any anime, I played the odd Dragon Ball game. But so I went back and rewatched it, still loved it. Tried to rewatch Pokemon, didn't make it too far with that one. Rewatched Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I decided to go and watch some of what was popular at the time, which around then would have been like Sword Art Online was popular. I watched it. Fairy Tail, watched it. And then I went and watched like some of the old classics. I watched like Cowboy Bebop and Neon Genesis Evangelion. Those ones were good. And then I kind of like developed my taste. I realized what I liked, and that was more lighthearted, fun action, and light romance maybe, and slice of life type of shows. They were the funnest for me. Anytime it was taking itself too seriously, I couldn't get into it. So what I really want to talk about is how, like, in the anime community, it seems like there's, like, what makes a show good or not good seems to differ, like, so much for each show. Like, for me personally, sometimes I'll be drawn to a show just by its art style, but at other times its art style could be completely off-putting to me, even though, like, what's happening in the show might be, like, right in line with what I like. If the art style I just don't get into, like, I'll give up on that series. And it's weird, like, I wouldn't do that with, like, most other things. Like a film, I'd probably be like, well, I wasn't too into, like, the cinematography, but, you know, I still loved the film. But with anime, for some reason, it's a little different. Or, like, other things I might not like, but there will be like a voice actor that I enjoy that I know is in it, so I'll watch the whole series just for that one voice actor. It's different with anime, and I feel like a lot of people in the community are the same about it. They'll be inconsistent with their opinions just because one thing they really liked and otherwise they didn't. That was kind of what I wanted to get at with this. Like, that's why I was like so hesitant to post anything about anime. It was like, I know how personal like people's opinions are on the subject, and I know a lot of people don't even really like anime. There's a lot of people that won't even give it a chance. Like, I understand some people don't like animation in general, but you know, if they do like cartoons, some people just like won't watch anime. Just like one excuse I see from some of my friends is like, oh, it's too Japanese, and I'm not even like entirely sure what that means. Like, I guess it just means it's like different from what they're used to. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird subject, but I personally love anime and get really into it sometimes. But again, I understand when people are like, I just can't get into it. Like, not for me or whatever. But it seems like such like an inexplicable thing for most people. And yeah, this is very rambly, and I don't really know if I made my point at all, but yeah, I hope you understood that. If you do like anime, I'd love to know what ones you enjoy watching, and if you don't, if you can explain why, like, that would be great. Like, I don't know, I kind of understand why, but why? Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one.